Hey, this is OXDF, and today we're looking at the Advent of Code 2015 Day 8 Matchsticks, and we're doing it in Rust. Let's go ahead and take a look at the prompt. I'm going to skip through some of the story here and basically say, this is the key parts here. We're looking at the difference in strings, the code representation of a string literal, and the in-memory string itself. And so this is best showed through examples, but if you have a string that's the empty string, it takes 2 characters of code to store double quotes, but the string is actually empty. 0 characters. So open quotes, ABC, close quotes is 5 characters of code, but there's 3 characters in the string data, ABC. But now we start getting to some escapes. So like here we have the string AAA quote AAA, and to show this isn't the close quote, we've escaped it, standard. And so this takes 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But the string itself only has 1, 2, 3. This quote is actually 1 character, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you have something like here where we have a hexadecimal representation. So \x and 2 hex characters. And that's actually 6 characters of code. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all to represent 1 byte. In this case, the apostrophe. So the only escapes we're going to have are double backslash, double quote, and then the hexadecimal stuff. And the question is, can we find the number of characters of code for string literals versus the number of characters in memory for the strings? And then we're going to subtract them. So basically, if we come up here, like this would be 2 minus 0, this would be 5 minus 3, etc. And so, again, I've already solved these years ago in Python, but we're going to doing it in Rust now, so we're going to pretend we haven't solved it. The input itself is just a bunch of strings. We can say pretty clearly they all start and end with double quotes, and then what's in the middle is what's in the middle. So with that, let's jump over into VS Code. We're going to use my GenDay script here for day 8 to go ahead and create the package. That also downloads the input for me, so I've got it here, and gives me a nice little stub here to work with. So I'm already reading all of the, I did go over that in episode 0. If you want to check that out, you can go back and look at that. So we're already reading all of the input into data, and let's think about, so our strategy here is going to be, there's really only 3 things we have to worry about. Each time we see \x character, that really becomes 1 character. And then each time we see \\, or \quote mark, that becomes 1 character. And so I'm going to actually, I don't know a way to do it without regex. So we're going to use regex here. And we're going to make ourselves a regex. And we don't need to worry about lazy loading or anything this time because we only have to do it once at the beginning of main. So hex regex equals regex new, and then we'll define this as a backslash, which will be 2 backslashes because we're going to have to escape it, an x, and then we're going to have A through F, 0 through 9. We can probably include A through F in there as well. We'll have 2 of those. So that's our regex right there. Go ahead and unwrap that so that we can get out of the result. And now we have our regex. Now all I'm going to do here, I think, is I'm just going to say let mute code, let's see, we'll call it like num code equals 0. And we'll do let mute num string equals 0. I'm not sure these are the best names, but we'll go with it. And now we're just going to loop over the lines. We probably could just do this by like removing all the new lines from data, but it just feels easier. It says to ignore the white space, so we'll just take it line by line. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say num code plus equals at line.len. So that's actually the length of the line. So that one's easy. And now we can do num string, and this is going to equal let's see. So we're gonna do our regex. So we'll do hex regex dot replace all. And so in this case, we're going to replace all of these matches, and it doesn't actually matter what we replace it with as long as we replace it with 1 character. So we'll do it on line, and we'll replace it with an X. Because all we're doing here is counting characters. If we had to actually go back and look at the characters themselves, we might have to worry about unescaping them. But for now, we'll just do that. And then we can do replace, not replace all, replace, because now we're down to a string. And with that, we can do, so we want to look at the double backslash. And again, because we're putting it in here, we actually have to double escape that. And we're going to take that, and we're going to replace it with a single X. And we'll do another replace. And this time we'll do backslash, backslash, that, like that, so that we are replacing backslash quote. And we'll replace that with an X. And then the only other thing so then we can get the length of that, right? And now we've got the length. I wonder if this would be prettier if we put it down here like this, so we can see all our replaces. And we do our length. Now, the one other thing we need to worry about is we always are going to have the open and closing quote marks, and those aren't going to count in this part. So we're going to subtract 2 just to get rid of that. And with that, we can come down here and we can say num code minus num string, and call that part 1. And if we get lucky, we will might just have an answer. Okay, so if the undeclared create, we gotta go to our cargo.toml here, put in regex equals, and because I'm gonna be a little lazy right now, we're not gonna actually look it up. We're just gonna say give me the newest one. That would never be good practice in like production code, but we'll go with it now. So now we're downloading and installing regex, and we get 6177. I don't know if that's right or not. Let's check it out. It is not right. Let's see where we can mess up. So what could we do? Well, let's see. We'll come in here and we will print line like that, and we will do 2 things. So we'll do that, new line, that. Now we will print line, and we will print hex regex replace all, replace all line, comma, xx, replace, this is where it would have been nice if I had just done it all in one line, 4, comma, and then here we want to do, let's actually, instead of replacing that with x, we'll do y, just so we can sort of make it a little easier, more visually easy to see, and we'll do replace. In this case, we'll do backslash, 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 colon, and comma, z. Okay, so now we're going to print that. And this is going to print a ton of junk to the screen, but we can at least check it out. Okay, so let's scroll through here and see how it looks. Let's just pick some strings. Look at that one. Looks like it's about the right. Yeah, that one doesn't change. That's fine. This one is going to have 1, 2 places it gets smaller, so it looks too smaller. That's good. This one gets 1 smaller. That looks right at the end. This one gets, that is 1, 2, oh, that's 3 smaller, because that's a 3 go away. That's 4, 5. Do we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? It's looking right. I wonder if we're just not measuring, if we're making something silly here. See what num code is here. 6195. Oh, I found my problem. I'm just doing plus, instead of doing plus equals, I'm doing equals. I bet you that is going to be minus num string. I bet you that was the whole problem. Let's give it a try. 1350. That sounds like what it was. 1350. Sweet. So we can move on to part 2. This time, they're saying they want us to go the other way. Now we need to take each string we're giving and encode it. So even if we get the empty string, it's actually going to encode to an open string followed by an escaped string, an escaped quote, and then a closed quote. So we're going to add 2 quotes to every string, and then we're going to escape whatever's there. So this one's, I think, even easier in some ways. Let's come up here and we can do it in the same loop. So we'll do let moot num encoded equals 0. Again, these names aren't great, but we'll go with it. We don't need our print line here anymore. And so this time, num encoded plus equals. And so what are we going to have? We're going to have the length of the line, line.len, plus we're going to have line dot, and now we can do just like we did actually in day 1. If we get our escape, we're just going to add another character to it. So it's going to basically just be that. So we can do the dot count, and then we can do the same thing and say line dot match. Is it match? It's matches, I believe. Matches, and then we'll have to put the escaped quote in there. Dot count, And then we also need to account for the fact that we're going to add two double quote marks to each one. So we'll do a +2 here. And I think we need to fix this to matches. I think we might be in good shape. Let's see. So down here, we can do num encoded minus num code. And let's see if that works. 2085? 2085. So coming out of a couple really hard days, it took me a while. It feels good to knock this one out quick. So thanks for sticking with me, and I'll talk to you next time.